Today we're talking about the top most memorable Breaking Bad kills throughout the entire show. What the shit? Breaking Bad kills. Alright guys, we're going to be counting down the top 10 Breaking Bad kills, the 10, 9, 8, all the way down to 1. Now I'm going to split this up into 2 videos. In the first video we're going to be doing 10 to 6, and in the next video we're going to be doing 5 to 1 because there's so many great kills. So go ahead and favorite this video and so you can come back to it because I'm going to have all the kills in this video. Now keep in mind this is after the mid-season finale, so we still have a few more episodes to go before the end of the show. Let's go. Let's start with number 10. Emilio. Remember Emilio? Poor Emilio was the first character to die on Breaking Bad. Emilio was held hostage along with his buddy Crazy 8 when they actually tried to rob Walter of his meth. So with a gun to his head, Walter promised to give them his secret recipe to the meth, but instead he started making like a little mustard gas bomb, and it blew up and exploded, and he closed the door in the RV and locked them in there, and they were basically suffocating. But of course, one person survived it, which was Crazy 8. Emilio died, and they had to disintegrate his body. Do you remember that? Using a hydrofluoric acid, I believe it's called. I don't know, hydrofluoric or something, and it actually like dissolved through metal. That was just so gross. Remember it went through the floor, and they melted away Emilio's dead body. Woo! Then Spooge, I don't know if you Spooge gets killed by an ATM machine by his own wife or girl. I can't remember if she was his wife or girlfriend. That was the couple that robbed one of Jesse's boys in order to get the meth. And they were like, Jesse goes over there, Walter tells him like, look, we gotta show them who's boss. And we gotta kill them. So he goes in there and he takes a gun. He's about to go kill him. He goes in and sees that they're so like poor and they're just so messed up. You know, once he sees that kid, Jesse has a really soft spot for children. So then he doesn't do it. The guy's girlfriend throws the ATM while he's under the machine. And Spooge was crushed to death. And I know, you know, at least Jesse didn't have to kill him, so that was good for Jesse. Number 9. When Hank was promoted to El Paso, Tortuga was a paid informant for the DEA. And remember he was like super slow and Hank like couldn't take it. He was like, come on, hurry up. And then that guy Tortuga promised to take them to like a secret location where there's gonna be a deal made. And then suddenly there was like an explosion which left Tortuga decapitated with his head on a turtle. It was like, oh, that really blew me away. That was just like really memorable scene. And then when the DEA began laughing and they went to remove the head from the turtle, there was another explosion that killed most of them and left a lot of them really, really injured. And that really like scared Hank, and Hank wanted to go back. Number 8. Do you remember No Dose? He was one of Tuco's guys, and he was just beaten to death by Tuco, that animal. Remember Tuco, who was taken out by Hank? So Tuco was the first meth distributor that Walter and Jesse made a deal with. And then Tuco just went ballistic on him. Like, he just said something. I felt sorry for him because he was really like, he opened his mouth and said something, and then like Tuco like lost it on him and he started beating him to death. And then you remember Tuco asked Walter to try to save him, but of course Walter couldn't. I mean, he just died. It was just too late. Number 7. Victor was killed by Gus Fring. Remember Victor? Victor was the guy who was sent to protect Gale before Jesse could get a hold of him and kill him, but he was too late, and then Victor goes back. And Gus just like comes out of nowhere, cuts his throat with like a box cutter. Oh, it was just so gruesome. And then he actually like threw his body into the hydrofluoric acid that melts through the metal and body. So that was pretty gruesome. Like, oh, it just came out of nowhere. Number 6. Crazy 8. Do you guys remember Crazy 8? That was so good. Crazy 8's death, I think, was definitely one of the best because there was like a whole drama. That was like early on in the season, and really like the way they drew it out, there was so much anticipation. So Crazy 8, who was with Emilio all in the beginning, Crazy 8 survived the mustard gas, and then Walter chained him to the Jesse's basement, but he used to like feed him and give him like buckets to like take a crap in. And then Walter, of course, because they're not killers at that time, they start making conversation, so Walter goes down. So Walter was supposed to take care of Crazy 8, Jesse was supposed to take care of Emilio. Walter just starts kind of befriending Crazy 8. He kind of feels sorry for him, he's not sure, he wants to find a reason to kill Crazy 8, you know, and then Crazy 8's like promising him that, oh, he won't come back to get his family. But of course, Walter starts to believe it until the day he was gonna let him go. At one point when he was going to serve him, he dropped his dish and it broke up into pieces. He collected it and put it in the garbage. The day he was gonna let him go, he happens to look into the garbage and he takes the pieces of glass that he broke and he takes them out, starts putting them on the table, and he's trying to put together the plate, and he sees that there's one one piece shaped like a dagger missing. That blew my mind. I love that scene. I was just like, oh my gosh. That was the first thing that showed how smart Walter was. And you're like, oh my god, Crazy 8 took it. He was actually about to kill Walter when he let him go. Right when he was about to let him go. Then he went to go down and he was telling Crazy 8 that he was going to release him. And you were a little nervous. Like at that time you weren't sure if Walter had it in him. Right when he was releasing, I think he put a bike lock on him and was releasing him to go. You could see Crazy 8 was about to pull out that piece of plate. And then Walter choked him and pulled him with the bike lock on his throat, and he ended up dying. Then Combo, oh my god, this was one of the most memorable. When he's sipping on like a Slurpee or like a big gulp, and he's dressed in that white outfit, and he's like heavy as it is. He just like looks like a crazy mobster. He's just in the whole white outfit. He has a bald head. He's on the corner, and he's like making these deals. And then these two guys, who we find out later that they're working with Gus Fring, pull up, and it's just so nerve-wracking. You're not sure what's gonna happen, and they're like threatening him. You know, he thinks he has to get off the corner, and Combo is like, you know, slowly backing up.